See, all I've done is I've gone into Google and typed in Trello, and if you don't know what Trello is, it's just you can see here is a project management software. Now I can literally have a plan in place. I always say to my clients that you're looking into how you're going to approach agents. Are you making phone calls? Are you doing follow-up? So I'm going to start with the basic flow that you need to set up. You're creating a solid format in your workflow. And trust me guys, I am telling you today that as much as it looks like you're doing an extra work, what you're doing is you're building a database of flow that you can manage in a couple of weeks' time in a much more thorough basis. You're not wasting your time. And this is how it should really look like. And obviously feel free to change it a little bit as well. But hey, I'm interested in understanding a bit more about this property you have in, and always make sure you put the address in, right? Because what you're doing is you're only approaching with that first property that you've seen it in Rightmove, Zoopla, OpenRent, Facebook, wherever that is. Now, a lot of people say, oh, don't use the word short-term rental and blah, blah. I'm like, look, you have to, because actually this is why we're talking about protecting your business. If somebody reads this and says, I am looking to start, and you haven't got a deal yet, and this is your first property, everyone goes to me, oh, Piers, I haven't got a property. Are they going to trust me? You literally said here, I'm looking to start a short-term rental business. So you're absolutely open about your approach. Now this video, it's probably going to be one of the best video I have done in the channel for people to start rent-to-rent service accommodation business without making a phone call. Now, we don't do mentorship. We don't show people how to start rental, service accommodation, rent-to-rent and stuff like that. So for me, having this value given, I want people to do it properly. I want people to do well. And in this video, honestly, I thought about it, and I thought when we did a research online, there's pretty much nobody showing this exact process, because I've built up a whole system, right? Me owning a estate agency, and let me get you back to 2018 when I first got an email from a rent-to-rent company and how they approached. And obviously me being an independent agent, and I had a property that was run down. It wasn't doing well. Landlord didn't want to spend a lot of money. It was like a terraced 5 or 6 bedroom house. That rent-to-rent person at that time who wanted to do a HMO, I clearly remember the relationship he built, the way he worked with me. He knew that as soon as I was on board, he educated me, he showed me his property. There's so many things he did. He was already experienced at that point. I think he already had 15, but from a letting agent perspective, it was great to be educated from someone who actually knew and understood the process and understood how to work with a letting agent, rather than just saying, hey, this is what we do, this is what we offer. So in today's video, we're going to sit down and show you exactly how you do not need to make any phone call, or especially cold phone calls, to approach to letting agents for specific properties that you like. Now, before we start this video, I've got to say to you, there's 2 videos that I've done before this video. So this is video number 3 from series rent-to-rent service accommodation. Now, those 2 videos are probably the must watch, but you can see this video today and I will show you an example of how you can leverage emails, systems and processes that we build on our first video to attract and make landlords and letting agent understand what you offer. So without further ado, guys, let's get into this video. If you're new to this channel, my name is Piers BK from GrowYourBnB and AutomateYourBnB.com. Now, we've worked with over 5,000 Airbnb properties globally, like UK, Dubai, US, Canada, Australia, Spain, Portugal. There's so many countries that we've worked, and obviously our job is to grow your brand, get you bookings. But today's video, it's going to be very special because I want to make sure that if you haven't yet secured your first unit, this video will hopefully get you to 90% closer on, as long as you put the systems in place. So let's go into that video and let's make sure that you've got what you want out of this video today. Now you can see right now I am in Zoopla. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do to rent, and I'm going to choose a city. So if I go Manchester, obviously as you probably know, a lot of agency in Manchester now are probably already educated around short-term rental and all that kind of stuff. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just randomly, just for this exercise, just going to show you an example here. There you go. It's £1,000 a month with an agent. Yeah, so the steps I would like you to follow is, now, once you've got your own due diligence, I'm sure you've got all the stuff that you do to qualify Manchester as a location. But for me, now I understand who's marketing this property. All I'm going to do is I'm going to go and Google their company name, and ideally what I want is their letting agent email. So now you can see here, right, they've got phone number. I can see there's pretty much everything written here, but I'm just going to put here lettings email, because generally what they do is they will be able, and you might, and exactly this, right, if it doesn't work, we'll have to go back and find a lot more detail to try and find that email. But I'm going to go into their email first, or their website first, and you can see Manchester as a location, contact branch, our people. So I'm going to go into contact, and this is sometimes just the space that you're in. You've got to go and find those email, but if you know and understand how to do it, so here you go, email office. Okay, so at this moment of time, the only thing you can do is you be able to now go in and really kind of copy and paste. If you remember on our second video we wrote an email. All I want you to then do is literally copy and paste that email here. So I can literally go in, I can paste the email that we've drafted. Now, again, like I said, I will recommend you go and watch that last video, because I talk about protecting yourself, your, educating landlords and agents and all that kind of stuff. But now I can put here saying who I am, my phone number, my email address, right, and then I can put hi I'm interested in the property you have in, and then I can literally copy this email here, or that address. And now I've got a very specific approach about, you can ask about, again, the same thing applied, right? You can ask questions about the property, you can talk about the offer. Obviously it's £1,000, so you can go back and talk about £1,000. But more importantly, you can see here, without you jumping in the call. Now, if you're a new agent, guys, new service accommodation owner, the worry about you sitting down and thinking, how do I explain them everything? Oh, what challenges you're going to face on that call? Is the agent even going to be open to talk to you guys about it? You've really covered every single thing here, which will literally tell that I am looking. If you're a new starter, you've said you're looking to start. This property fits Would the landlord be open for company-led service accommodation? You've then explained the type of guest you're looking to work with, and to confirm, would the landlord be open for 3 years? All of the things that we discussed in our last video is now here. Now, if I send this today, it's taken me less than 3 minutes. Literally in this video you can see, to find the property I like, find the agent I like, and contact them directly. Now I've got to say to you this, look guys, there's a couple of things when you make a phone call, you're always thinking, right, you've got to make as many phone calls, and a lot of kind of mentorship says, oh, you've got to make 50 phone calls to get your first deal. The same thing applies in this process. The only difference is that you don't have to be in that phone call. You don't have to, sometimes 80% or actually 90% of the time, when a new agent's talking to a letting agent, because they're nervous, they're not being able to give those right information, they don't even get to say all these things that we mentioned on an email, because it's generally like they will shut you down straight on the phone. In this case, that agent will literally get to read all your email. Now you can make it as personal as you like. Obviously we're going into New Year, so Happy New Year, la da da. But you can see how important this is for me, especially now if we talk about volume. If you do to 40 agents in Manchester, there'll be one agent coming back to saying, hey, actually, maybe we would like to talk to you about this. And that is literally what you need. That first entry to speak to an agent. Now you've done all the work. But remember, in the last video, I talked about how you're protecting yourself, because everything you said you're going to do is already in that email, right? So if a management company or a company decides, a management block or a lease decides to change, and then letting agents penalize you to say to landlord, actually, we didn't know that. Yes, they do, because in your first email, you mentioned everything to do with short-term rental business. And yeah, for me, I'm very, very passionate about helping people doing it the right way. When I started in 2018, when I letting agent, my biggest worry, as soon as I found out that, mortgages were not checked, and I used to speak to landlords and find out that can they speak to mortgage companies, and we realized that mortgage companies are not really just open to give you a consent to do short-term rental. There's a lot of challenges that generally for me, there is in place if you want to do that deal 100% right. There's many, if you speak, like if you've got a fellow SA operator that go and find out if they've checked the mortgage letter. Did they check the lease? 90% of the time people don't do that, and as a result of that, they're doing the business, which is great, and I'm all about going and taking action, but also it's protecting your business and protecting yourself from it. Now, a couple of things, guys. We've got a school community where we just talk about short-term rental. Obviously for me, a lot more applies. It's just not about securing a deal. There's also how to get bookings, how to then scale the business, how to get direct bookings, put more systems, processes in place. And for me, I think this video, I really wanted to make sure that hopefully whoever's watching this and implements what I've said in this video, and you do it 50 times, I'm hoping that you'll have one agent come back and say, yeah, let's have a chat. And that's all you need to get your first deal over the line. So guys, I hope you enjoyed another Grow Your BNB video. My name is Piers from Grow Your BNB and AutomateYourBNB.com. I love what I do in the industry. Obviously, we've made loads of videos in this channel. If you go back, there's probably 700-800 videos. And yeah, for me, this series, I've done 3 videos so far. This is the 3rd one. I would love you to go and check the first one where we create system, because it's important. Every email you send, you need to make sure you put it somewhere. The email draft that we created, obviously it's just a framework. I would love you to have your own one, because when many people are doing the same thing, you're going to end up, obviously, like phone calls, you're going to end up having loads of people sending email, and then we don't want your email not to be seen. So I would 100% recommend you kind of optimize your own email, and lastly, do exactly what I said in this video. Now, however, the next video, I want to do it without you being involved. Now, it's a great opportunity. It doesn't matter if you're a first, you're trying to get your first deal, or you're a property sourcer. This strategy that I'm going to show you without you being involved is going to be the best way to scale your business in 2025. So guys, thank you so much for watching another Grow Your BNB video. Please make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and also comment down below. I'd love you to say if you've used this strategy, if it's worked for you. Please come back and make sure give us a little bit of credit, and the team as well within my Grow Your BNB, because they're the one who pushes me to make this kind of videos, and also for you guys to enjoy, learn, and grow your business. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back with another video soon.